General English.
Good afternoon, dear students. I am Ranjith Hemachandra, the English coordinator of Highland College, Maharagama. In today's lesson, I would like to discuss with you another important area of English language. It will be important for any exam. That is an important part, the section of grammar, how to make active voice and passive voice sentences, especially the passive voice sentences. And you must have a very good, very clear view of the passive voice sentences. Because most of the students have very vague knowledge about the passive voice construction. And you must know how to use active voice and passive voice in the best possible. For some occasions, the active voice sentence is much better than the passive voice. For some occasions, passive voice is much better than the active voice. So you must understand how to construct a passive voice sentence as well as an active voice. Now, what's the difference between the active voice sentence and passive voice sentence? In the active voice sentence, the doer is important. The subject is, there is a person to do that. In the passive voice sentence, the doer is not important. The action is important. Therefore, you must pay attention to that. As some students are of the opinion that in passive voice sentence, when you are constructing it, by with the agent is necessary. It is necessary only at some places. If you can make a passive voice sentence without the agent, that means without the phrase with by, that is a good passive voice sentence. Now let us try to make them in a better way. Remember, there are special verbs, and these verbs can be considered as two types, as transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. Do you know what they are? What do you mean by transitive verbs? A transitive verb takes an object. Intransitive verb does not take an object. And a sentence with an intransitive verb cannot be converted into passive. Only a sentence with a transitive verb can be converted into passive. So I'll give you an example. Now if we say, he ran home. So here we find an intransitive verb. You can't say that sentence in the passive form because ran is an intransitive form. There is no object. If we can say, he ran a hotel in Colombo. What do you mean by ran a hotel in Colombo? Here ran means he conducted the hotel. So there it is a transitive verb. You can say a hotel was run by him. You must understand what transitive verb and what an intransitive verb. If you have an intransitive verb, you can't convert into a passive voice sentence. Now, for example, another one. He started to cry. So here, you can't convert that sentence into passive. You can say he cried a lot. You can't convert into passive voice. He smiled. So you can't convert into passive. Therefore, we will take the sentences with transitive verbs to construct sentences in passive. So when you do this, you'll have to do it according to the tenses. Then only you can understand it. First, let us start with the simple present tense. For example, we clean the room daily. We clean the room daily. Here, we is the subject. Clean is the verb. It is a transitive verb because it has an object. Clean the room. What do we clean? The room. Therefore, clean is a transitive verb. The room daily. So here, the object is the room. So for the passive voice form, we have to take the room to the beginning of it. You have to use it as the subject. Then as this is present tense, you can use one of these words, is, am, or are. It depends on the subject we use at the beginning. And after that, we'll have to use the past participle form of the verb. So here, my sentence is, we clean the room daily. Here, you must identify, you must learn, you must find out the past participle form of clean. It is a regular verb. Therefore, past participle is as same as the past tense cleaned. Right, you know the past participle is clean. And now let us try to say that sentence in the passive voice. I'll repeat it. We clean the room daily. Now we take the word the room to the front, the room. Then you have to select one of the words is, am, are. So here for the room you have to take only one word is. You can't use am and you can't use are, because we use are if it is only plural. The room is. Then past participle. Now we know that it is clean. The room is cleaned daily. That is the sentence. If you like, you can use by us. So by us is not very much necessary because the meaning is understood. The room is cleaned daily. That is the idea. If we use the word rooms, the rooms are cleaned daily. Now let us take another sentence. People speak English all over the world. People speak English all over the world. People is the subject, speak is the verb, English is the object, and all over the world is the adverbial phrase. We can use it even for the passive. We take the main three words. People speak English. So we take English. This is present tense. We are talking about simple present tense sentences. We take English to the front because speak is the word English. Then we have to select one of those words. We can call them auxiliary verb is, am, or are. So here again English, you can use the word is because it is an uncountable word. You can't use are, and it is not I. Only for I we use am. Therefore you have to use is. What's the past participle of speak? You know that it is an irregular verb. Past participle is spoken. Speak and spoken. English is spoken all over the world. English is spoken all over the world. Not necessary to write by the people. Not necessary. You can say English is spoken all over the world. So we understand it. Then let us take another one. We want to say that all the schools in Sri Lanka, the teachers teach English. You can say teachers teach English in every school in Sri Lanka. So, how can you say it in the passive form? When you say it in the active voice, you will have to use either teachers or, because teachers teach it. Teachers teach English in every school in Sri Lanka, we can say. So here, passive voice sentence is better than the active voice sentence. So we can say instead of teachers teach English, we'll take English first. So English is, the verb is teach. What is the past participle form of teach? That is taught. It is an irregular verb. Teach, taught, simple past tense, and past participle taught. English is taught in every school in Sri Lanka. It's not necessary to use the phrase by the teachers, not necessary. English is taught in every school in Sri Lanka. You understand, this by phrase is not very important because our students think that it is necessary for a passive voice sentence. You understand that it is not necessary very much. We can use it only when, I'll give you an example where it is necessary. Now look at this sentence. According to our constitution, this happens. The president appoints the prime minister. That happens according to the constitution. The president appoints the prime minister. So you can say the prime minister is appointed by the president, because without that part it is not complete. So in such a place we use that by phrase. Now when we take another example, we have to say a pen is made of plastic. There's no place for us to use by. A pen is made of plastic. A pen is used for writing. So that is a passive voice sentence. Oil is extracted from coconuts. Oil is extracted from coconuts. A passive voice sentence. Or oil is extracted from shark liver. So that is passive voice construction for simple present tense. Now let us move on to simple past tense. I'll take a sentence with an intransitive verb. I'll take the example of the present one in the past tense. We cleaned the room yesterday. Cleaned. C-L-E-A-N-E-D. We cleaned the room yesterday. So we take object to the front as the subject, the room, and after that, this is a past tense. we use one of these words, was or were. Then past participle. The room was cleaned yesterday. Not necessary to say by us, the room was cleaned yesterday. If you like, you can say by us. The room was cleaned yesterday. Let us take another one. My father built this house in 1998. My father built this house in 1998. You can say this house, then you have to use was over. Here as it is singular, you have to use was. This house was built in 1998. If you like, you can say by my father. But we understand the fact that this house was built in 1998. Now another one. Now we can say a sentence like this. Or we can say, we posted all the letters last Friday. We posted all the letters last Friday. You can say, all the letters were posted last Friday. If you like, you can say by us. But the meaning is understood. All the letters were posted last Friday. Now this one. The police arrested the thief. We can say yesterday. The police arrested the thief yesterday. Here, if you like, you can say the thief was arrested by the police, or even without that, because we know that normally a person is arrested by the police. So the thief was arrested by the police yesterday, you can say. So that is the way when you have a singular verb, that is was, can be used. If you have that means plural verbs, you can use the letters were posted. Or you can say all these houses were renovated last year. All the children were trained for the March past. So such sentences can be made. That is the simple past. Then let us say simple future. We will clean the room tomorrow morning. We will clean the room tomorrow morning. Here we'll take the room. Here future tense we use will plus be. Will be, then past participle. The room will be cleaned tomorrow morning. We will post the letters next Friday. The letters will be posted next Friday. We will hold the meeting at 1:30 p.m. tomorrow. The meeting will be held at 1:30 p.m. tomorrow. So that is the use of will. And with words like can, must, we have to use it same way. For example, we can do it. You can say it can be done. It can be done. So we can do it, can be done. You must do it. You must do it immediately. You can say it must be done immediately. You must follow the instructions. Instructions should be followed. You can say you must follow the instructions carefully. Instructions should be followed carefully. That is the future tense and or something necessary. Now let us move on to present continuous tense. We can say we are cleaning the room now. We are cleaning the room now. So present continuous. So here we take the object first. Then we have to use one of the word is, am or are. Then we have to add another word, new word, being, been, and the past participle. So you can say the room is being cleaned now. The room is being cleaned now. You can say by us if you like. Now let us take another one. If you have the plural form, the rooms are being cleaned at the moment or now. Let us take another one. The teachers are training the students for the March past. You can say the students are being trained for the March past. Okay, the officers are counting the ballot papers at the moment. The officers are counting the ballot papers at the moment. So how can you say it in the passive voice? The ballot papers are being counted at the moment. Sometimes on the radio it will be announced for the news. The ballot papers are counted at the moment and the results will be announced early in the morning next day. So you can see how passive voice is used. That is for the present continuous tense in the passive voice. And the past continuous tense is also the same. I'll take an example. They were taking the patient to the hospital. They were taking the patient to the hospital. So the patient was being taken. That is was the were and being being and past participle. The patient was being taken to hospital when the accident happened. So we have to, when you use past continuous tense, we have to use it with another idea. Was been. Then let us move on to that is past continuous tense. We can say, while the students were being trained for the march past, one student fainted. You can say, while the students were being trained for. So were and being and the past participle. That is past continuous tense in the passive voice. Then present perfect tense in the passive voice. Very important. We have cleaned the room. We have cleaned the room. So we take the room, and here you will have to use one of the word has, so have, plus been and the past participle. We have cleaned the room. You can say the room, one room, so I use the word has. The room has been has been clean. The room has been clean. It has already been done. If you have the rooms, rooms have been clean. If you like, you can use the word already. The rooms have already been clean. Let us take another one. We have already posted the letters. How can you say it in the passive voice? All the letters have already been posted. Not necessarily used by and the agent. All the letters have already been posted. That is the way we use present perfect. Then the past perfect is same with had. They had painted the house when we went there. They had painted the house. That part. The house had been painted when we went. The house had been painted. So present perfect has been painted or have been painted. Past tense had been. The house has been painted. The houses had been painted. Past tense, the house had been painted when we went. So those are the three for that. So we three for the simple present, simple past, simple future, and 2 for present continuous, past continuous, and 3 for present perfect, past perfect, and future perfect. For example, we will have typed the letter by 2 p.m. We will have typed the letter will have been typed by 2. Will have been typed. So that is the future perfect in passive voice. So like that, mainly you have 8 tenses in passive. Now let us do an exercise. Make the following sentences passive, eliminating the doer of the action. So here in these sentences, you must not use the doer. You can't use by form and write them. Now let us read it. People apply mathematics in many different activities. People apply mathematics in many different activities. How can you use? Now here people apply mathematics. So mathematics is the object. We take it to the, because it belongs to simple percentage. You can say mathematics is applied in many different activities. Not necessarily used by people, because you have been asked not to use the doer. Mathematics is applied in many different activities. Number 2. People use the binary scale in electronic computers. People use the binary scale in electronic computers. So here, how can you? People use the binary scale. So what is the object? The binary scale. It must be taken as the subject, and it is singular, and this is present tense. So you'll have to is and the past participle of the verb. The binary scale is used in electronic computers. Very simple. The binary scale is used in electronic computers. Next one. People form the square of a number by multiplying the number by itself. I think you understand. People form the square of a number. That means we write number and small t above it. People form the square of a number by multiplying the number by itself. By multiplying the number by itself is an adverbial clause. You have to use it even for the passive voice. So we'll have to take the first part. People form the square of a number. That is the object. So we have to take it to the front. How can you do that? We'll take the object. The square of a number, it is singular. So is, and the verb is formed. Past participle form of form is formed. So we can say the square of a number is formed by multiplying the number by itself. Let us take another one. People call mathematics the language of science. So mathematics is called the language of science. So dear students, in today's lesson, I attempted to show you how the passive voice sentences are constructed and where we have to use those things and how to use sentence without the doer. So I think this knowledge can be used for getting better marks at the GC Advanced Level Examination regarding the General English paper. So until we meet in another lesson, I wish you all the best. Thank you.
You have been listening to the General English program for GCE Advanced Level Examination. Program was brought to you by the Education Service of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.